Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to another night with oxygen not included. We're back here with the Space Hamlet, the colony we've been working on a little bit in the Quality of Life Mark 1 upgrade. Things have been going relatively well. We're up to 25 duplicants, so we sort of went a little past the 18 I normally go with, but I figured why not? We're going to try and make this a bit of a fancy colony with some fancy homes and stuff for them to live in and some fancy starvation. Food has been a bit of a challenge in the colony because we took duplicants so quickly. We took basically the first 25 that came in, so we're on hold now for duplicants for a little bit while we try to build up our food supply. And then once we can get that food supply sort of sorted out, then we can start looking at bringing in some more duplicants. But welcome everyone who's in the live chat so far, or if you're watching this on the channel afterwards. Hopefully we'll have a good night tonight. We had one death in the colony already so far. That was Carter Clark. So we're going to try to avoid doing that again. That was a little bit of a mishap while we were building our oxygen room, but that is all built and running now and supplying a decent level of oxygen to our colony. So for the most part, I think we're okay shaped that way. At some point, I'm probably going to have to put something in here to clean up a little bit of CO2 and have a system in place for that, but I'm not super worried about it just yet. As long as we keep the oxygen pressure up, that'll keep the CO2 down towards the bottom anyway. We did start a little bit of dust cap farming, but we're going to need more of those. And I'm sure we'll find more when we're out here looking for slime and stuff too. That's probably going to be the bridge that we're going to use in terms of improving our food supply in the colony. Because I found that in general the dust caps make for a pretty good source of food. So if we can get that going, then I think that will help it a lot. Let's see how everything works out. Hey Cerberus, how are you? Time for dead dupes. No more time for dead dupes. We don't want dead dupes. We want live dupes. Dead dupes don't do any work. We only want the dupes to do the work. I did notice that I had a couple of these mirthleaf plants, and they handle better temperature, or higher temperatures than the briar blossoms or the briar seeds. So I'm going to put a couple of these mirthleaf around, trying to improve some of the decor in areas where things are a little bit warmer right now. Eventually, we're going to need to set up a bit of a cooling system to take care of that. Now, we have cooler oxygen going into the middle of the colony, but things are still on the warm side. I'm supplying the cool oxygen here in the middle specifically because I want to make sure the farm stays at a reasonable temperature. It's in the mid-20s, which is fine. But some of the perimeter stuff is getting a little on the warm side, so we will have to deal with that at some point. Temporarily, we built this rock granulator here, and it produces a lot of heat, but we're going to have to move that eventually also. Up the top here, we have our power generation system that I started. With the intention of building our power grid off of it. And I haven't taken the time to do a whole lot yet. So we should try and get that set up also tonight and see if we can sort everything out that way. We do have a little bit of power going into the colony just from our hydrogen generation system down here. So any excess power overflow goes out through the power transformer into the grid, but that's not really going to be useful long term based on how I have the grid set up. I think I'm going to need to like run a heavy watt wire I can connect it to or something to try and connect it to the main grid. That way we can disperse it more evenly instead of just in the local area where the system's running. But for now, at least we're making use of a little bit of that excess. Latest colony's going strong, just using the algae terrariums. Yeah, the algae terrariums aren't bad, but I just find they go through so much water. I can't really be bothered doing that. In this colony, the only thing that's consuming water right now is the fact we're making mush bars in order to try to keep up with the food requirements of the colony, but we want to get away from that. And then there are a couple of sinks here still, or not sinks, but the wash basins that are using water also. So I'd kind of like to get away from those as well, if we can, but we'll see. Your colony has morale issues. Help you someone. Well, morale really boils down to managing a couple things really well. I mean, the first thing you can do is just try to handle decor. Try to get a reasonable decor in your colony. Now, the farm area in the middle here is really poor, but all the living spaces where the duplicants are sleeping and stuff. And actually, I should do something with the kitchen area because that's not that's not very fancy looking. But most of the living spaces that the duplicants are in are reasonable decor. So that's your first step. Second step, you want to make use of the rooms. Try to get a great hall that your duplicants are eating in. That gives them a +6 morale all by itself. If they have a break room, that's going to be good. They're going to get a +1 morale from having defined bedroom spaces. If you have a washroom that's using all plumbing, that's going to give them a +2. So you figure between this, that's +1 for the room, +6 is a 7, +2 for the bathroom is already +9. So unless you're, and then lastly, just don't promote too quickly. If you promote your guys up in rolls too fast, the morale requirement gets higher than what you can reasonably manage. And then outside of that, if you can start producing good quality food, that's when you get the really high values. Okay, let's get some research underway, because I haven't finished that. I mean, we could do some acoustics down here. We finally have the ability to do some artwork and things. The trouble being that we need some reed fiber, and I don't have any just yet. But we did start to set up last time a space over here where we can have our Drecos, and then we can do a little bit of Dreco shaving, and that will get us some stuff. So maybe I'll work on that right now too. Should be a station, I think, actually. So we'll put a grooming station out here, and then we're gonna put the shearing station right at the entrance here. Now, it's gonna be a little tricky getting duplicates to stay in there long enough to do it, because they have to come down into the CO2 and then come out here into this nasty chlorine gas, and then they're not really gonna enjoy that too much, I don't think. That may cause some minor issues. Well, they actually found a place to gasp away. All right, good job, guys. We have a little skim of hydrogen at the top here, so we can get some of the Drecos to grow their stuff back afterwards too. It's not going to be great, but it's something. Shooting station right here. When the need arises, can I perhaps claim a dupe named Mr. Monk, who's incapable of doing anything but tidying? Potentially. I mean, there's always a need for tidying in the colony. I can't make any promises, though. I don't keep a running list of people that ask for duplicants, unfortunately. I tried that once a long time ago, and it just didn't work out very well, so I abandoned that fairly quickly. Okay, this needs power. That's right. I forgot I started to run wiring out here, and then I changed my mind about what I was going to do. So we'll just run it through the floor. There we go. Oh, I've got a Dreco's... wait a minute here. How did that Dreco get stuck on there? That's no good. He's not going to be able to eat. Alright. I guess I'm going to have to put something here so he can climb out. I think they're actually capable of jumping that gap, but whether he actually will or not is another matter. Is this a random seed or a picked seed? I always do random seeds. I just fire up the game and let it run. If you're curious what the world seed is, I have it in the description of the stream, but it's also right here, 6941146. But I never pick seeds. I just start a game and go. Hey, Scott, how you doing? All right, we've started the grid up here. This is going to provide power here, so that's good. It's down to 30. All right, that'll work. Okay, we need power transformers. Just gonna use the mini ones. One over there and one over here. Now this space up top here, the decor is really gonna be awful. Our poor duplicates are not gonna like walking through here very much, but they'll have to just make do. Okay, the left side of my colony doesn't really have a huge power consumption right now, but we'll run this all the way down to here. This one will connect up on this side. We might as well power the door. There are a few things running power here, but there's also additional power supply coming in. So we'll end up severing the grid like right here in the middle once this is finished. And then we'll be largely dependent on these up top, but we can get rid of the manual generators. My name is CVS, the 2 cool steam vents, and can't sustain those 25 dupes whatsoever. I mean, this is not uncommon for me to have this number of duplicants, so I wouldn't say it's not sustainable. I think what was the last colony? Does anyone remember how many duplicates we had last time? It must have been over 20, and we were at 500 and some odd cycles, 600 and some odd cycles. Okay. Oh, we did find a little bit more of the dust caps, so that's good. They must have found them out here in this wonderful muck. I'm gonna throw a ladder down here too. Might as well. Oops. Derpy ladders. Try and get a little more of the slime. See if we can get a duplicate nice and sick. Because that's exactly what you want when you don't have a hospital. I wanted to work on fire poles today too, and this side of the colony actually has a great spot here for the fire pole to go, like right from the very top all the way to the very bottom. So I'm looking forward to building that. I have it in mid-research right now. Unless they've finished it. Oh, no, they finished it already. Sweet. Alright, so we can do the fire poles. We might need refined metal for that, though. I can't remember. Nope, no refined metal. So let's just make it out of, I don't know, gold, I guess. Stick one right at the top and go all the way down. There's a weird little gap right there. Why did it make that little stop gap there? Hopefully that doesn't stay that way. I really hope it... Nope, it really did. That's super weird. All right. I don't know why I would have done that. I would have thought, like, maybe if it ran out of metal and changed metals, but it didn't. So we'll see. Maybe they just have to, like, build in the middle of it. There we go. Okay, now it's good. All right, so we have our fire pole right from the top to bottom. That'll give them some speed on that side of things. This is our break room over here. And it's not really that great. Ooh, Buddy Bud. We finally got Buddy Bud. It's good for 20 to 40 degrees. Man, let's play some Buddy Bud. I'm going to make the break room a little bit bigger. We made this smaller in the first place just because... oh, wait, did I break any power wires there? No, okay, we're good. I made this smaller in the first place just because we had an opening here, but now that we've closed that off, I can actually make this bigger. Okay, that didn't break. What's going on here? Better. You should only use gold for heat-producing machines. Lies. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I mean, yes, you should use gold for heat-producing machines, but if that's all you used it for, you'd be completely wasting an enormous amount of metal. I mean, I have quite a bit of gold right now anyway. It doesn't really matter. The one thing I try to limit using too much is copper, because the copper is actually useful for other things, and it's hard to, like, it's not very sustainable until you get to the surface. So when it comes down to, like, producing exosuits and that sort of thing, we're going to want to tap into the copper, and that's not something we really have readily accessible. You should keep separate hot and cold tanks. Electrolyzers and stuff get hot, plants get cold, toilets get neither, depending on my cooling capacity. Well, my toilets are actually just running on their own little permanent loop. So this is my toilet loop here. So I have clean water going in. They use it. It cycles back around, goes through the sieve. If the water backs up to the point where it gets to this pipe bridge, it will take the secondary route, and then it goes and dumps itself in the overflow over here, which actually is getting relatively full. We're going to need to... There's a lot of duplicates going to the bathroom. I'm going to need to make this... Well, we'll make this a little bit bigger for starters, but then we're also going to need to put a pump in here so we can send this out and clean it. Just got to figure out where exactly I want to set up the cleaning system, because it's going to be producing a fair amount of heat. And the water that comes out of it is going to be pretty hot, too. Oni onions? What? Last rocket stream had 20 dupes at the start, not counting the 12 tombstones. Yes, those things. But I would like to point out, none of those deaths were the result of water issues. Those were predominantly related to spacesuit issues, I think. The fancy jetpacks were a bit of a problem for us. Woo, what have I got out here? Huh. Well, I don't want slime out here. I want slime down here. Close to the mushrooms. And this currently isn't storing any. So that explains why the slime wasn't down there. So we'll get them to relocate it. I can stick all the slime right down here so it's closer to the mushrooms. A little less running for them to do to put it into play. This is outside of a stable, so I guess it's not going to work. Which really stinks. Zombies with the super chat. $50. Happy holidays, Cryptic. Sadly, Tuesday and Thursday nights are the highlight of my week. Love Oni. Keep up the great work. Zombies with a huge super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, Zombies. I appreciate the support. Crazy. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Or whatever other holiday you might be celebrating. Okay, we need to do something to actually make this into an actual stable. Otherwise... Oh, no, they did shear him. Okay, so that's fine. I don't really care that it's not in a stable then. That's good. All the stable really does is tame them faster, but I thought it might actually limit the usage of the system, but that seems to be fine. So that's good. Excellent. Let's get this guy wrangled up. I'm sure we have some more of them wandering around here somewhere. I know I saw a couple. And the reed fiber will be really handy to get. Actually, my storage containers are getting really full, too. Why was that slime sitting there? Tell me these aren't set up to handle slime. Nope. Nope. Okay, we're fine. False alarm. Hope I enjoyed the terrible jokes. I haven't even watched it yet, actually, Durgan, to be honest with you. I saw the video and I remembered it from last year, because you did the same thing last year, right? Or was it... It's not the exact same video, is it? It was just like the same idea? Oh, there was another plant there I hadn't seen before. Okay, our break room is wide open. We don't want that. Let's get our door on here. The massive disinfection. There's a little bit of spraying going on. Where's our germs? We've got some surface germs and stuff, but the surface germs aren't really a problem when it comes to slime lung. It's really the airborne stuff, so as long as we don't give it away to propagate, keep the air clean and stuff, it'll be fine. I'd like to relocate my food storage, but I don't have a convenient CO2 well for it. I think I should build something over here. So that people are getting sick. They're just like, this food's awesome. Or maybe not. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is break open the wall over here. We'll deconstruct this. Or we won't. There we go. We'll break open the wall here. And I'm going to build a space over here that we can do food storage. We'll let CO2 collect in this gap over here. And then from that, we can... keep all of our food safe. Joffrey's with the $10 super chat. Thanks, Joffrey's. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the support as always. Where is my food storage containers? We're just gonna use ration boxes, I think. Not gonna go too fancy. We could use fridges or whatever. They technically store a little bit more, but I don't really care. So we'll go this way. Actually, that height is going to be really strange. Okay, maybe I'll do... Let's do this a little differently. We'll do the ladder just down the inside, and then I can... There we go. Ladder right down here, and then I can do the storage boxes on this side. Like that. Which means we're going to need a little more clearance room up above, but that's okay. I am going to insulate this. Not that I necessarily care too much about the insulation factor, but this way we can just keep it all from letting excess heat bleed into the colony. And it might as well be prepared for lots of food. Now these top ones are never going to... Well, these aren't really going to work too good. They're going to be above that point where the CO2 was likely to sit. And with high pressure oxygen, it might actually push the CO2 down enough that these boxes at the top never quite sit in the oxygen, but we'll see, or in the CO2, but we'll see how that plays out. Incoming stress attack. Oh, it's only Jaden. Where's Jaden? Let's see. What's Jaden's deal? I think probably Jaden isn't eating in the mess hall. And that's likely impacting the morale. Because we have too many duplicants. They don't all fit in the mess hall right now. Or the Great Hall. Where's Jaden? Yeah, Jaden's only producing 4 morale on a morale requirement of 12. So that's really unusual. The rest of the duplicants are actually doing fine. But I promoted Jaden into a higher position, I think as an artist. And she's not liking it too much. So let's, for the moment, we're going to move Jaden back down to an art student. Just to help avoid that issue. That'll let her stress come back down. We don't have a massage table, so she can't chill out that way. But we'll make this dining hall bigger as well, I guess. We'll just break this out. If I... What do we got here? We have chlorine in here. I'm going to get rid of that chlorine easily. I guess I can go topside and we'll dig down and we'll build this space out and then make a vacuum out of it. And then break the wall down and that will give us our room space. This is currently 60 tiles. And the Great Hall can handle a maximum of 120 tiles. So it could be twice as wide. We can build this out into here. It's just the oxygen management is going to be really crummy for that. Hey, Cutie Booty, I was really getting into your Kingdom series. Hope you play more. Yeah, I'll definitely be playing more. What the? No, they haven't played it yet. I'll definitely be playing more Kingdom. I kind of want to finish that game out. I actually really enjoy it. We're on like the 3rd or 4th island so far. I guess through the 3rd island. I could go to the 4th island, but I'm not ready yet. Out of 5. So we've got still more play left available there. How many tables do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tables. So we only have like half of our people eating right now in the Great Hall. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. If I expand this out, I can get like another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables in. Well, yeah, 6 tables if I go to this same wall width. But it's not really enough room. I could build another one up here, just kind of out of the way. I sort of wish I had kept a little different space available. You know what? I'm going to convert this. Let's convert the break room for now. And we'll build a new break room for them. I think this will probably be the easiest way to solve for this. Deconstruct all this stuff for now. It's going to be a little far away from where the food's stored, but... What's the objective of this game? Basically, you're building out a colony for your duplicants to survive in. You start off with just 3 little guys in the middle of an asteroid and nothing, and you kind of build your way out, build a whole complex system for them to live in, provide them with food, provide them with oxygen, living space, gainful employment, all that kind of stuff. It's probably my favorite game. Alright, we're just going to fill this almost completely with mess tables. I do need enough space here for a water cooler, because the room does... Oh, no. Alright, that's not going to work. Water cooler's got to go in this end, I guess. It does have to have a water cooler in here, unfortunately. That'll give us another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another 12 tables. So that'll get us up to 24. So there's still going to be one person that doesn't have a table. One poor fool that doesn't get to sit and eat with everybody else. Why are you just standing there? For a second, I thought Sibylline was broken. just hanging out, not moving. Everything's fine. Let's get some more fancy decor in here. We'll do a little corner molder here. Do some crown molding. A couple pieces anyway. Why can't you do super chat? I'm trying to donate $100. Yeah, I don't know. There's there should be a $ button at the bottom you would click on. If you're wondering how to do the super chats. Just destroy the plant side and put another table. Yeah, I guess we could do that. It's just, the decor in here is not that great right now. Oh, actually, it's improved. Now that there's some plants that are actually alive in here, it's a little better. Alright, we'll destroy this. We'll uproot the plant and destroy the, I guess we might as well uproot both of these. We'll put plants in here that are going to grow and handle the temperatures. Yes, starvation, but we have 32,000 kilocalories of food. I says pardon. Do we have enough to make fried mushrooms yet? Oh, we do have some fried mushrooms. Make those forever. Insufficient mushrooms, 1,000 grams. Oh, we have eggs too. They've started to drop out. So I'm gonna want. No, I can't put cooking ingredients in there. Okay, let's do let's set this for cooking ingredients. We want raw eggs in here. We want edible stuff in here. Copy the settings for all this. But leave the top ones undefined right now. And I'll set the lower ones for higher priority than the upper ones, because that's where the CO2 is going to settle first. If we put these at priority 5, actually these ones at 7, then they'll relocate the stuff that's stored down here, and then I can break those up. Yes, more crown molding. Yeah, the crown molding is actually pretty good for decor. Not too bad at all. Earth leaf. I want some of these Joya seeds. They look like little cactuses. I'm gonna find some of those. Okay, we have room for another table now. That'll get us to 25. And now everybody's got a place to sit in a great hall. Perfect. That will fix the morale issues. Jaden's stress is coming down slowly already, but... Alert after alert. It's always with the starvation, these guys. Alright, let's just start to pick long chains of stuff to research now. We don't need anything specific. I think a dupe in the pen is stuck. In what pen? I assume we meant over here, right? But I don't seem to be stuck in there now. They got out. I think they were just chilling in there for some reason. For reasons unknown. No, I can't even reach that. Oh no, the little guy hatched. I gotta get him out of there. Pull Lanny with a super chat. Bought my dog a new bell, but she's scared of it. Oh no. So every time he runs around, it rings and he gets scared of it. Does it make your dog run faster? Is it like an exercise incentive? We tried putting a bell on our cat, but he figured out very quickly how to get out of the collar. It didn't really work. Okay, we have some reed fiber on the ground here I haven't picked up. I probably should set up the storage here to handle it. Industrial ingredients, reed fiber. If we got a dog, we could talk about dogs more. Polani with another super chat. Thanks for the super chat. I grew up with dogs. I just don't have one now. I messed up my crown molding. I didn't do the corner molding. Gotta fix that. No self-respecting duplicant would accept non-corner moldings. Let's fix all these. Alright. These out of granite, I guess. Quickly now, duplicants. Oh, I was trying to put it in the wrong spot. That would explain why it wasn't working. I love this new copy key. I cannot get used to using it though. Learned today that if you click the follow cam on a dupe and let it follow them for 2 minutes, they gain -5 stress bonus. Yeah, they do get a benefit from having the follow cam on. Oxygen shortage will point your colony most quickly if your production shuts down for whatever reason. Yeah, it will. However, it's doing okay for now. I'm going to dig out the ceiling here a little bit. Make a little more space in here. No, silly, he rings the bell, so I open the back door. Oh! Oh, so it's not like a bell on the collar. Okay, I get it. Thanks for the super chat again, Poe. Joffies with the $5 super chat. Agreed, Cryptic needs a pupper. You're lucky my wife's not in stream. Don't tell her that. We don't need a dog. Dogs are cute. I love dogs. I just don't like all the work involved in taking care of the dog. Especially the whole, like, walking them in the crummy weather and having to pick up their poop after them. That's not really what I define as a good time. You'll never know what I did exciting today. I walked after an animal and picked up its warm, squishy poop. It was great. Best times ever. Pretty sure no one has that conversation. Get to be more slime. Okay, how's my coal? I need where's my consumable ore? 28 tons of coal. We're in a decent shape for coal for a little bit. These two generators are hardly going to run, really. I'm just going to deconstruct my pedal system down here. Ooh, and I did finish building the whole connection here, so I should actually sever the power line here too. Let's deconstruct all this. Separate it into the 2 parts of the grid. Fox hunting dog. No, we don't want him hunting me. Poe with another super chat. Guys, what should we name Cryptic's buffer? Dupe. Get a dog and name it Dupe. Here, Dupe. No, we don't want to name it Dupe. I'd wind up killing it by accident. That'd be awful. I'd feel guilty or something. Nobody wants that. Alright. Alright, now that we're getting a little bit of reed fiber, I would kind of like to get a system set up here to produce some exosuits. And maybe get an exosuit system ready. I did find a geyser over here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. There's a geyser, like, right here. Or a volcano. I don't know which. I do kind of want to find out. But I would like to have my duplicants to be at least a little bit prepared for it. For now, these pinch of pepper nuts are actually growing. I'm kind of tempted to leave them alone. But I need to put an exosuit set up here somewhere. Just don't know where I want it. I was going to do like a central one. And have like the duplicants go up and get in the exosuit. And then from there they could leave and go do their thing. But I'm actually using the oxygen supply that I was planning to use to feed the colony. Because with 25 duplicants, they breathe a fair amount of air. It's funny how that works. Get 25 duplicants in there. Suddenly they feel like breathing. Where's the graveyard? Oh, it's up here. We took care of that already. We've got space for them to bury their duplicant friends. Or something. Dog's name equals Fortnite for a Cryptic Knight's super secret obsession. I actually haven't been playing a whole lot of Fortnite lately. I played it a little bit recently, but not a lot. I need to fix all my crown molding because they didn't have those corner pieces when I put this stuff in. They sort of added it mid-update. And then the kitchen area we still haven't done anything with yet, so I should actually try to do something there for decor. Because the poor chef that's working in here is not really loving life right now. I think I'm all out of plants that I can plant at the moment. So we're just going to go with ooh, a marble block. Majorly increases decor, contributing to morale. Must be sculpted by duplicant. Duplicant creativity is the requirement. That's interesting. Well, we have obsidian or granite. Let's make it out of granite. Oh boy, that thing's huge. All right, I was gonna use that, but on second thought, maybe we won't. Ooh, maybe we'll put one right here. I want to see what they sculpt out of this marble. I think this would be interesting. But in the meantime, we'll just use little sculpting blocks right in here. Actually, we'll use the big ones. Large sculpting block. Try to boost the morale of our duplicants hanging out in the kitchen. And magma. Polluted O2 and CO2 geysers are pretty useless. Well, polluted oxygen's not so bad because you can clean it. There's something you can do with that at least. The CO2, yeah, I agree. It's not terribly useful. CO2 is so easy to get as it is. Just run some generators. New member, welcome Stephen Morrow. Welcome to Team Green. Thanks for clicking on that join button and supporting the channel. Very much appreciate it. We need some more corner molding. Give me that fancy granite. Granite quarters. Everybody uses granite for their crown molding. Or something. You give me so much entertainment. Well, thanks, Steven. Is it Steven or Stefan? I'm never sure when people use a PH in the name. Some people like Steven, others not. Still, yeah, Phase 58. Still keeping his head down. That's right. We're gonna rename all the duplicants to Phase 58 just to throw you off. Okay, we do need a break room now. Our duplicants, well, I mean, technically they can use the I guess the lunchrooms for breaks, so that's not really that big a deal. As long as they have a place to go to the water cooler. Oh, and actually, I want to turn this off. As long as they have a place to go to the water cooler, then they'll kind of use it as their break space. So I guess they can use the Great Hall for that. Stress is coming down for Jaden, so we can promote Jaden now. Current morale is 11. Morale needs 4. Ooh, actually, it'll be close. A little bit close. She's like just like 1 point underneath what we need to produce. Let's make some omelets. We have some eggs in here. Make some forever omelets. I need another chef. We have one person who's not employed currently. Let's make another chef. RB can get promoted. And then we'll... Who is this again? Ken. Ken's just hanging out there not doing anything. Oh, actually, I did say that I was going to put everyone in the gopher position first. So let's put Ken in gopher. Man, we have to move people around. Everybody's maxing out on their skill set. Alright, so Ken can go here. Mighty McCheese. That would be ironic if they had good cooking skill. But they don't. Let's see. No cooking, no cooking, no cooking. Man, apparently I'm not big on selecting chefs. Alright, what about Caleb? Has he got cooking? Nope. 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 Good lord. This is like the chefless colony. You know, one person has 1 point in cooking. That's not a... Alright. Engineers? Cooking 2. Alright. Nightbot. There we go. BBX shotter. We'll put him down there. Too many names. Too many names. Not enough alphabetical order. I went past it. I'm blind. I know it. There we go. Okay. Now we got all these other people in the gopher position that don't necessarily need to be here. So let's do some more building people. Let's make Mighty McCheese, I guess we can put in there in the building position. So many names. I really wish they were alphabetical order sometimes. We'll put Suri in building also. Let's see, we can do some more farmers. Matthew Prince, Dan with a plan, Diego. Nobody's got any real skill at any of the jobs I'm giving them. It's like, just to completely ignore what their benefits are, and we'll just put them in random positions, because that's how we operate around here. And then I guess we could move some people up to miners, too. Well, I mean, we do need gophers. Maybe I'll leave them for now. They can continue to do the gophering thing. Nutrient fertilizer, just hanging out there. Farmer didn't finish with it. The holiday doom tradition is dancing around the molten copper volcano. Oh, that reminds me. I still need to have a small molten copper accident with our last colony. That's by request, of course. That the last colony meet its untimely end. I still haven't done that just yet. Surprised nobody's gotten sick. Must be all the wonderful chlorine flying around in here. It's kind of holding some of the germs back a bit. Alright, where can I put... You know, I'm going to take my rock granulator and move it over to this side. If I can get rid of the water that's here, then I think it'll be handy to get it out of the way. So let's just plan for them to dig into here. We'll throw a ladder in. Oops, that was weird. Give me the ladder. I need to get the water to drain out into a different space, though. This is, like, super inconveniently located. I mean, alternatively, I guess I could just have the bottle it and move it, but I'm pretty sure our polluted water areas... Yeah, it's getting a little full. I've been watching you for 2 weeks now. Love it. Thanks, Alexis. Glad you enjoy it. I mean, of all the games that I play, this is definitely the one I think I play the most of. Alright, we'll plan for the water to drain out this way, maybe. Fill up that space. I'd like to get my hands on that mushroom and stuff here, too. Let's just dig all this out. So we got some useful slime there. We got that. So I think what I'll do is I'll try to relocate the water that's here. We'll recapture the space here, and we'll put in things like our rock granulator. Maybe that's where we'll do our textile thing to do materials to make the exosuits. Yeah, we ran into a bug with the rocket last time, and like it kept crashing the colony every time I tried to get the astronaut out of the capsule. As soon as he clicked on the capsule, the whole thing went crash. So we just sort of abandoned that colony, and it's just as well because with this update they added all these cool decorations and stuff we just got to start playing around with early. Which reminds me, We have these horrible statues up here that our artist created. And I use the term artist very loosely in this case. But we have those statues there we should get rid of. Oh, look at this! Genius marble sculpture. What is that thing producing? Somewhere here it should show what the decor is. Actually, I want to do it without this overlay on, right? Civic Heat. No, not see. There we go. Genius marble statue. Decor plus 42 on an 8-tile radius. That's pretty awesome. That's a really cool looking statue. And those are very new. I like that. That's probably my new favorite statue in the game. Well, I don't know, actually. These ones are really cool, too. I like the statue of David. Alright, let's open the door here. That doesn't need to be closed. Still watching the chat here, but I'm turning the sound on for Judge Judy in the background. Judge Judy! New sculptor. Yeah, there's a bunch of new sculptures. So they have this one over here, which is like the Cupid or whatever. They have the statue of David, and then the Thinker was the original one. They have these heart ones, and I think there's another one of these that actually turns... These are crude, but... actually, now that our skill level's getting up, I should replace the crude ones also. I think they have one that looks like a unicorn kind of thing. No, granite. That's what I want. Make these out of granite. I'm going to destroy all these. Let's get some... See if the art improves. If we start to build some different things. Who made it? Put them back on artists. Well, the artists have left where they were. I didn't shift them around. What's going on here? This fishery serves raw eggs. Okay, that's fine. Up to 48,000 kilocalories now. We have enough food to last almost 2 days. That's like a lot. I mean, relative to how food's been going in the colony. Okay, some little granite statues in here. I'm curious to see what other sculptures they'll make. So there's obviously like the little moon shape, but that's a quaint one. This is crude. That's quaint. Quaint. It's funny, the genius marble sculpture, but it's quaint. Which is it? Is it genius or is it quaint? I don't get it. Dupe David is awesome. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, look. This is the one with the discus. It's funny, too, because these are all based off of a real masterpiece statues, too. I forget which... I forget the name of the sculpture with the guy with the discus. That's really cool. How many size statue options are there? There's a few of them now. So you have the sculpting block. You have the large sculpting block. You have the metal block, the marble block, and the ice block. So basically you have 5 different options. And then for the paintings, you have 3 different options now. Where it used to just be the one. Ooh, actually, we have fiber. We can start making paintings. Totally forgot about that. So we can do some fancy artwork in the dining hall. We're gonna run out of fiber. I only have 2 left. Sweet. It's about time we can make some artwork. The discus thrower, is that actually the name of it? Ironically. Wonder if the material you use affects the quality. Well, I don't know about the quality of the statue, but it does affect the decor of, it's supposed to affect the decor anyway. Like, if you make it out of granite, it's supposed to get a bonus. Oh, these are made out of sandstone. That was smart of me. Alright, so this one is made of sandstone. This one's made of granite. So this one's giving a plus 30 decor. And this one's giving plus 27.5. And they're both quaint in terms of like the quality. So the material you give it does actually make some difference. It's not a huge amount, mind you. Can you make a statue out of diamond? No, you can't. There is a new planter you can use for the diamond, though. So this this arrow pot here, I don't have an option to make it yet, but you can make it out of glass or out of diamond. And I guess that will have some beneficial effect. We're still making, like, not exactly high-quality paintings, but we need to get better quality food before I can promote people high enough to make the really good stuff. It's called Disco Bullis. Genius tier gold statues are the best. Yeah. I think it would really be cool if you could make a statue out of diamond, but that's just not an option. The planter, though, I guess is alright. Like, oh, what happened here? I neglected to give them actually a way to get up there. What's our food situation like? We have, let's see, mushrooms, mush fry, meal ice, omelets, mush bars, fried mushrooms. I should actually change the food consumables and tell them not to eat mushrooms. Oh, those are the fried mushrooms. I want them to eat those. Where are the... There. Don't eat the regular mushrooms. Let's cook them first. Get better food value out of them. Okay, what else? What can we research? Doesn't really matter, I guess. Going to solid transports. Soon, my little minions, soon. Ooh, we can wrangle this guy. Wrangle you. If this one ever comes down low enough for me to get it, we can wrangle this one. On the plus side, these plants are growing a little bit, so they're getting some food out of them. Not a lot, mind you, but something. Don't forget a new break room. Make sure there's lots of buddy bud to help them relax. We need a buddy bud and a vending machine. Do you even art, bro? I have a green hatch in the garden area. Oh yeah, this is a little sage hatch. I guess we could take it down here. Oh, that's funny. It's not. Oh, hold on. I just didn't wrangle it, I guess. There we go. Get that guy out of there. Not that it's that big of a deal. They'll only eat like a little bit of food now. They used to just like be ravenous. They would devour everything. They don't really do that so much anymore. I don't need these batteries here anymore. And they're producing unnecessary heat, so I'm going to get rid of those. I am, however, going to put some batteries up here, I think. Just as like an extra overthrow kind of thing. Flow over, whatever you want to call it. Make sure we have power available. In the event that they're a little slow getting the coal in, I want to have some power on hand. So I can't help but think of Homer Simpson yelling nerd at people who show their smirk. Nerd! Jeez, Flanders. Do we have any meat? Can we make barbecue? We do have meat. Make that forever, too. And we have pepper nuts. Sweet. Our duplicates are getting barbecue already. That's good for morale. Man. Although some of the meat might actually be sitting up here. I might need them to climb up here and get it. Go get the meat. The water started to drain, but I don't know how much of it's actually going to fit over here. Does the air planter look something that begins with B and rhymes with pronged? Yeah. Does it look like a bong? Well, it doesn't not look like a bong. You're officially more John to listen to than Judge Judy. She's got kind of a nasally voice, I think. Judge Judy. Oh boy, our water's going down quick. Which means we're not getting the same cooling power anymore. We do need to branch out and find convenient water sources. Let's look for a geyser here. mean, in the interim, we can actually clean... we can clean polluted water. But it would be nice to get a better source. Something a little more consistent, because when we clean the polluted water, it's going to come out hot, and that's not so great. I think I should really be stretching out and trying to get to this cold biome as a matter of priority. And I think the best way to do that will actually be to go through here and then down. So we'll send our duplicants on a little expedition. They're going on a trip with their favorite rocket ship. The trouble is, I don't have any exosuits for them, so it's gonna be a bit of a chilly ride. Let's tile this over. Super chat. Happy early holidays. Merry Christmas, Fox. Thanks, Nick. Merry Christmas to you too. Appreciate the super chat. I don't know that they can't reach this stuff. It's actually too far over. There's too much water in the way, so they can't even get over there. That's not ideal. That's gonna make moving the water out of the way a little harder. Cold biome to the right. Yeah, we have this one like right over here. So I'm gonna work my way over there. We'll get some Wheezeworts that will help. Might be able to get a little bit of water and stuff over there too. The nice thing would be to be able to produce the water and cool it in the cold biome and then send it into the colony, but that's going to take a little bit of extra work. We do have polluted water here that I could tap into for cleaning. Now that's going to get used up relatively quickly, but we do have options at least. Did I just glitch hardcore for you? Yeah, with Disco Fox. Alright, that's different. When in doubt, ladders. That's right. It's all about the ladders. Hey, Greggles, how you doing? Did you change equipment? Your voice sounds deeper tonight. Nope. I'm not using different equipment. I'm getting over a cold, so my voice is still a little lower than normal. when I was really sick, actually, it was like I was walking around doing a Barry White impression. Everything was like super low. So it is a little deeper in it right now. I feel better, but my voice just hasn't recovered entirely. May I have the dupe named after me if no super chat requests are ahead of me? Well, we're not actually bringing in any duplicates at the moment. We have 25 right now, and until we get a more sustainable food supply, more sustainable water supply, and a place for those duplicates to sleep, I'm not going to be bringing any in for a little bit. Once we start getting stuff like expanded out a little bit more, then I'll bring in some more duplicants. But for now, this is kind of where we're going to be in a bit of a holding pattern. I'm going to throw a ladder right down here. I don't know how much the duplicates are actually going to climb in here, but I'm gonna try to expand this a bit. And we'll put a water pump down here. And then I can actually take this and branch it off too, so that when we ditch water, it can all run down to the same thing. We'll take the water out of here. We'll send it through a sieve to clean it. We can run it through the cold biome to cool it, and then we'll send it into the colony to use as fresh water. Use auto sweepers to get cold air generators. Yeah, but you have to have a decent coal source to do that also. The couple of hatches here are not going to run the coal generators at all. We also need to get a duplicate that's at high enough skill level in order to do it. So in order to do the auto sweepers, you have to get somebody up here that can do mechatronics engineering. So we have to have people that build up through these levels to get to that point. And actually, we can move a couple of these people up. Let's go down with the plan. And Diego. Where's Diego? Current morale 5. He's gonna go up. Ooh, yeah, his morale's gonna be a little on the low slide. Slightly low morale, but that's all right. Am I still making mush fries? Ooh, I'm making mush bars. We should stop that. Oops, shut that off, please. All right, no more mush bars. We're not making mush fry. Oh, we did make mush fry. All right, that's that consumes so much water. I hate having to do that. Like, you would think that this would be the biggest consumption of water, but it's actually not that bad. It's really the making food out of the water that's rough. So right now I have them making fried mushrooms. This one's set up for omelets and mush fry, so they probably have a little bit of stuff they could fry up still. I should set this one for fried mushrooms also. Once you get into the cold biome, you can have some dupes start building temp shift plates out of ice in the water tank. They'll melt fast and give you nice cold water. Yeah, that's an option too. It'll just mean that we have to haul the ice back from over there without it melting on the way, which is sometimes kind of a nuisance. And now that I think of it, I probably don't want to breach the wall here, because this is going to be all germy water. Or this is clean water. Well, I mean, clean in the sense that it's not full of germs. It's not clean, but... I wonder if I could put a liquid pump even deep enough in here. This is pretty deep. I don't know if they're going to go down that deep. I might actually need exosuits to get deep enough. Unless I break the wall to make this bigger. And lower the general water level, but keep the same volume of water in there. He runs a mean kitchen, yeah. Explosions! There's no explosions in this game. It'd be funny if there were sometimes. There's one dirt pile holding back water for this. Is there a reason for that? There wasn't initially, however, yes there is. This container here has slime in it. It's actually chock full of slime. And it's sitting in water, so it's not off-gassing. As long as I keep this here, we'll keep a pool of water right here that does... This does some initial cooling of the oxygen flow that's coming through. And then it's also holding back the water so that we keep this submerged. Because in here we have like 20 tons of slime that I don't really want off-gassing inside my colony. These poor wet duplicants. I feel bad for them sometimes. I'm so mean to the duplicants. Get to work. Dig all this stuff up. Got plenty of chlorine and liquid reservoirs unlocked for cleaning. Yep. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We could send the water into one of those setups. I very rarely ever use liquid reservoirs, actually. I tend to use them for things like storing petroleum and stuff. Wait, Durgan's making scarves? So it occurs to me, who needs buying gifts when I can crochet stuff? Scarves for everyone. Hooray, scarves! My wife just recently started getting into doing crochet, too. The water's so goop-like in the game. It takes a while to float to places. Yeah, it's a little bit weird sometimes. The water physics are just a touch strange. I mean, some people just... I mean, they speculate that maybe it's a case of... the duplicates are really tiny, and therefore the water is actually behaving normally for water, but I don't know. Never entirely bought into that concept. Let's go with the liquid pipe here. Okay, I think I'm gonna have my sieve sit like right on top of this. So we need refinement. With so many duplicates, they get work done fast. When they actually get around to doing it, they are very efficient workers. It's the getting around to doing it part that's sometimes kind of a nuisance. Okay, so that'll give us a water flow. This one I'm going to send down the ladder. If I could get actually a pool of water down here, that would be kind of ideal. I think I just canceled my whole build. Oh man. Totally didn't mean to do that. Alright, I want this ladder to go farther down. Ooh, there's lots of sleet wheat down here too that I don't necessarily want to wreck. Maybe I don't want to do this. I mean, alternatively, I could send the piping through, like, a room that has wheezeworts in it, but it just doesn't cool as quickly as I might like it to. Because it's going to come out of here at, like, 40 degrees Celsius. If you put me in as dupe, name me the Flame King, please. All right. Yeah, we have lots of mods in tonight. If dupes are so tiny, why are they about the size scale of the Gravitas Company furniture indoors? Well, I don't know. I think the argument is that they're all tiny, but like I said, I don't entirely buy into it. I think it's just people looking for a reason for why the game physics work the way they work. It's not really that big a deal. I'm gonna want this. Let's dig all this out. We're gonna need a ladder in here to get to this. Try to collect these Weezeworts up. Over here, we're gonna dig over this way. We'll dig that one up. And then we're gonna set all this. There we go. We'll set all these plants in here for harvesting, so that as they grow, we'll let them grow wild, and we'll take what we need from them as they're ready. What was that alert for? I missed it. Heard the alert, but I missed what it was for. Oh, good. This is mostly done-ish. I should actually have a storage container. Whoops. Storage container down here for our mushrooms. I didn't think to build one. I mean, it doesn't really matter where they go. I guess I could put it up one floor. Stick it in the room here with the hatches. Why are you... What's going on here? Oh, as they're trying to put in the slime, it's actually off-gassing and creating little pockets of polluted oxygen that stifle the mushrooms for a moment. It's kind of funny. Okay, so this I want to be filled with seeds, and specifically we're going to put fungal spores in here. Are these set up to hold seeds? They are. Okay, no fungal spores. We want all the fungal spores to be in the same space. We'll have those close to the farm so they're easy to get to. Oh, a starvation thing? Okay, yeah. It's funny how they can manage to starve between one break and the next. Like, that's some serious, No, we're running out of food for everything. That's some serious metabolism if you can manage to starve between meals. I guess we'll set up healthcare. Okay, this is mostly ready. We're gonna need power over here, of course. Lots and lots of power. Oh, of course I derped it. Right at the very end, too. I should have just held down the shift key. Okay. So that water will come in. We'll clean it. I guess I'm going to use the cooling loop down here. Where's my pipes? I just got to watch it doesn't freeze. Oh, that's the only tricky part. Balancing temperatures this way is a little weird. Okay, we're going to use liquid piping. Oh, no, wait, I want radiant piping. Wait a minute. How do I not have radiant piping yet? Hold the phone. Where's the research? Ah, jeez. All right. I gotta wait. Gotta wait. Need that radiant piping. It's your first live stream. Well, welcome, Daniel. Glad you're able to make it. Only seem to have a couple of shine bugs left. Still gonna try and farm them. I'm not necessarily farming them. I put a feeder here for them. But yeah, there really are only a couple. I think we only have 2, possibly 3. Sometimes there's an egg sitting around here somewhere. Oh, we have 3 of them. It's funny, like, they're not even getting to the point of being tamed. I thought, like, just the whole act of feeding them was enough to tame them, but maybe they do actually need to be in a confined space. It's, like, sealed off as a ranch. Because these guys here aren't tamed either. These guys are all wild, I think. Oh, no, maybe they're not. Reproduction. No, I guess it is tamed. Huh. Just the shine bugs aren't getting tamed. It's a little weird. I thought this was going to happen. These containers will never be used. They'll never actually get to a point where they're actually in CO2, unless things are going horribly wrong in the colony. And at that point, you know, it's like we're not really worried about the food storage then. Oxygen's still good though. Check immune systems. 70%. Sibylline's getting a little ill. Where are you, Sibylline? There you are. That was not what I meant to do. Hopefully I didn't mess up the con assignments. I just wanted to click on Sibylline. There we go. Sibylline the Rancher. Grimy, pleasant chit-chat. She must be going out into the nasty biome. Let's set the door so Sibylline can't go out here for now. Let me see. Alright, no going out there, Sibylline. Trying to keep you healthy-ish. I probably should consider putting a door over on this side, too. But on this side, at least, we have the chlorine, so the germs are really... Oh, actually, she's the rancher. She's been hanging out up here. This is all full of polluted oxygen now, so... We have a different issue. I actually need to clean the air. I'll go this way. Oxygen... Deodorizer. If we can clean the air in here... I mean, it's not really high concentration of gas, and the germs aren't super high either, but if we can keep that clean, then Sibylline will be in a little better shape. $2 super chat. She's getting sick because they have a cold. Oh, sorry to hear you're sick, Sibylline. In this case, it's probably germs, but I hope your cold gets better quick. I hate being sick. I'm such a huge suck when I'm sick. It's like the worst thing ever. Wife wants you to wrap a toaster with Xmas paper when it clearly listed as toaster. Jeez. Paper coming. Toaster. The air is getting a little warmer coming out of these pipes now. I really should try and get to the wheezeworts. Okay, so we have one of them dug up. Alright, our new oxygen cooling system. Where's an easy place to put this? I'm probably going to have to repipe some things. Let's try and clean out everything in here. I think what I'm going to do is put a room in here that's insulated. Put a mechanized airlock at the bottom. Actually, no, this isn't going to work. That placement is not going to be terribly convenient. Maybe I'll do something like right under here. We'll dig this space out. We'll use this. I don't want the copper here anyway. We'll deconstruct the ladder that's here. And we'll extend the ladder down here a little bit. Okay, so over here, we're going to do a little insulated room. This is where we're going to put our wheezeworts, and that was super smart. Always with the derpy walls. If I can't do a derpy, I'm not doing it at all. That's pretty much how I roll. That can fit 4 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, only 4 wide. So that may not be enough, but we'll see. How about you don't get yourself trapped in there? That'd be great. Don't build the... Okay. There we go. Someone's gonna get themselves trapped in there. Just you wait. It's gonna happen. Okay. Actually, if I use farm tiles at the bottom, I may be able to make this work a little better, but let's just do... 2 planer boxes, I guess. Okay, inside this room, we have, the trouble is I have two pipes with flowing oxygen. And this one's getting very little cooling, actually. I can't really make both sets of pipes go through the same cooling chamber. Because it's just not going to work. CO2 is also not a very good medium for cooling, which isn't going to help either. But in here, what I want to do is have the gas come out. I want it to combine together and then come into the room. Bend over here, and we're going to create like a radiator grid system in here. And then send the gas back out. It doesn't really matter if it goes into the water supply after. Like so. I'm just not sure if this is going to be big enough to do the cooling that I need. I might have to experiment a tiny bit. I might need to make the room like maybe one wider. And use 5 Weezeworts in here. I think I'm gonna do that proactively, I think. I mean, worst case scenario, I can dig up a Weezewort if it gets too cold. But probably better to prepare the room ahead of time. Another planter box in here. My current base, I keep running out of algae to make oxygen. You got 2 cool steam vents near the base, so you wanted to use the H2O, O2H thingy. How do you keep them running out of algae? Okay, so I'm actually not really using algae to produce oxygen right now. I did have these, so we had the oxygen diffusers running to produce oxygen. I love that they renamed those. Every time they rename something, I have trouble remembering that it's got a different name. But these are the oxygen diffusers. Those are the ones that run the algae. I switched over instead to using the electrolyzers. This is the system that I'm using to produce oxygen right now. So we have two electrolyzers on either side of a main, like a central pump in the middle with 3 pumps at the bottom. These produce hydrogen that goes up and that collects at the top. Because you can't have 2 different types of gases occupying the same tile, the skim of hydrogen that forms at the top will stop oxygen from getting into here. And this pump in here will always be sitting only in hydrogen and never have to filter it. The oxygen then is pressed downwards where the pumps below pick it up and they send it out. The hydrogen coming out of this pump goes into my hydrogen generators, which produce power that I'm storing in batteries, so that it always has its own constant supply of power. This generally will never run out of power unless the incoming water supply stops. So I'm using this to produce oxygen. And as you can see, it's producing oxygen for 25 duplicants, and oxygen pressure is in good shape. Obviously, there's a lot of CO2 down here, but that's just because I haven't scrubbed any. I haven't done anything to remove CO2 at all yet. Might want to add some hydrogen as long as you have the generators. Yeah, the tricky part is trying to tap a line off of it. And I can only... Because of the way I set this up, actually, I can only inject a little bit without causing a problem. I wonder if I can... Let's do this a little differently. Let's build the ladder down. We'll build a tunnel underneath. They haven't built these walls yet, so we'll cancel these. And we'll give them a little ladder to get in there instead. Alright. That way I can pump hydrogen in here, and they'll have a way to get in and out of this room if I ever need them to go in there without causing any issues. Oh, I had to build the piping, and I forgot I was adding another layer. But I can't... Oh, I can't actually do that. Hold on. Where's my gas piping? This one's gonna have to be built a little differently. We're gonna snake it back and forth. Just because of the way I built this. Perfect. It might be a lot of effort, but in the end, when it's all set up, it's like 0 maintenance. It just runs. Okay, let's set this for Weezeworts. Hold the phone. Did they change the planter requirements for Weezeworts? Ruh-roh. Do warts grow in planters or only pots? They won't grow in planters. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's got it. I'm so dense. It's the pots. I suffer from major brain fartitis. Namaste, this is a family-friendly channel, so if you're going to say anything in here, kindly keep it family-friendly. Any cursing and stuff just automatically gets picked up by the YouTube filter and blocked, so your message never got through to anybody. I'm the only one that saw it in the mods. But if you're going to be here, kindly be friendly. Okay, there we go. It's going to take a little bit to get all the Weezworts in here anyway. We can block this off now. How am I going to get the hydrogen in here? That'll be the tricky part, I guess. Ventilation, gas pipe. Okay, so we'll just run a gas pipe off of here. We'll send it right down into this space and throw a gas vent in here. And that should do. Well, actually, just to be safe, like I don't think any of it will go along the level here. It should just all go up, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna bump it up one level and we'll put it in there, just to make sure it goes into the right area. Perfect. I have to redo the gas pipes. Oh, what do I do now? Yep, I sure do. I may or may not have accidentally broken my own gas pipes. There we go. We're good. Gas bottle emptier is handy for filling this kind of room. Yeah, I can see that, actually. I mean, you still have to bottle it somewhere, but... Oh, man, this is getting full. Okay, this is ready down here. I want to mitigate the amount of like melting that's going to ruin the sleet wheat down here if I send hot water down this way. So I'm going to try and do like a little basin that I can catch water in. It's going to ruin the one little sleet wheat, but if I send the piping in here, then I should be able to get... Actually, it's not going to be that much melting involved here. Like, if I can get a skim of water in here, that's ideal for cooling stuff, but I don't think this is going to work. I should send the piping all the way down here, but it's just too far. It's too far! Make a gas valve so you can turn it off. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I mean, it's going to take a while for it to fill up with a necessary amount of gas anyway. It's also going to rob power from my system, so I got to be a little bit cautious of that. Gas shut off. Actually, which one requires... Does the gas shut-off valve require power? I can't remember. Yeah, it does require power. This one does not. We use a regular gas valve, not the shut-off. What the? Stop disinfecting the... Honestly, okay... Disable disinfect. Is there a way to do that across a whole bunch of stuff? Disinfect at 1,000,000 germs. Actually, no. It's only the one tile. I'm just going to disable disinfect on that one tile. Alright, that's good. Getting a little hydrogen in here. Actually, the concentration of hydrogen is building up in here pretty quickly. That's a little surprising. We won't need to run that very long. Depending on how much power I have, you can also run a thermal aqua tuner, too big pool of polluted water. Yeah, The thermal aqua tuner takes so much power. I definitely don't have that kind of spare power around. At the present, we're really just running off of 2 coal generators and then the small amount of excess power that's being produced by our hydrogen system here. So not necessarily ideal. What do we got back here? CO2 still behind there. What are they doing down there? Oh, they're collecting slime or something. Okay, they started to build this out, so I'm going to take a look at our piping. We're going to deconstruct this, and we're going to send the piping into here using radiant pipes. And then I'm going to have to send it back using insulated piping, otherwise it's going to heat up on the way. And it's got a long way to go. Like, I'm going to go through a lot of materials doing this, unfortunately. Oh, what a weird setup. Okay, like so. Our pipe bridge on there. That's a ridiculously long setup. Just to clean and clean, cool, and send back some water. They'll not disinfect the toilets, etc. now until they get to insane germ count. If oh, did I change the germ settings altogether? I mean, not that it necessarily matters. No, disinfect to 10,000. The germs on the surfaces of things really don't hurt your duplicants to any great degree. I mean, Sybilene's sick, but that's because she's been going out here and breathing in the nasty air. And she's still sick. I need actually a second rancher so I can tell her not to go out there. We don't have anyone that's got a high enough skill level. I guess I can move Water Trico, who's currently our farmer. Actually, if I reverse them, we can put Sibylline here, so she won't have any reason to go out there, and we'll send Water Trico out instead. We could do like a cross-skilling that way. And then we'll also save Sibylline the trouble of going out here and getting nastiness. Because it's coming out here that's getting her. Just getting all those nasty germs. The wards get enough airflow side by side. I saw someone put the alternate ones in the airflow into yeah, I don't really do a whole lot of min-maxing, to be honest with you. They draw the air in from the bottom part of the Wheeze ward, and they push it out through the top. So technically, the way I have this set up, they're going to keep forcing a higher pressure concentration at the top. So you can see up here, it's like 1,300. And toward the bottom, it's only like 1,100. 978 down at the Potter level. I'll deconstruct the tile here so that we have a bit of a space for it to do a loop. But yeah, technically for pure efficiency's sake, you probably should leave a little bit of a gap or like stagger them or whatever. For my purposes, it's not, I don't need to maximize the cooling I'm getting out of it anyway, so I don't really care. As long as it doesn't get to the point where they're not cooling properly, then I think I'm okay with it. Let's turn this off. I thought I turned that off. Oh, there we go. Okay. Another thing I recommend, add a couple gas storage units to build up a buffer of air so you have a little time if the oxygen room stops for some reason. Yeah, generally the only reason my oxygen room stops is if water supply stops. And actually, that just occurred to me. I'm going through all the trouble of cooling the water, but really I could just attach it to our incoming water flow going into this system. After cleaning it, and then I don't care about the temperature. Whatever. We'll keep the big loop, because I'm using it for cooling anyway, I guess. Time to connect the pipes. Yeah, we're all ready to do that. So we can throw... we want this connection on here, and this one on here. And then we want to break the one in the middle. Insulated gas pipe deconstruct. Now the trouble is, I mean, there's only 3 warts in here, so we do need to get a little bit more. They're not going to be doing the best level of cooling just yet. But that's our new radiator system. So the air is coming in at 54 degrees. It's exiting at 22, 23 degrees. Now that's because the pipes themselves were super cool at the time. They got cooled down a whole lot by having the Weezeworts sit there with no gas flowing through them. It is going to get warmer. 25 degrees, 26 degrees. So as we dig up more Weezeworts, that system will get better. Ideally, you want at least 1 kilogram per tile of hydrogen at the base of the Weezeworts, preferably 2 kilograms per tile if you don't cool properly. Well, yeah, I mean, I still find it cools fine. At the bottom, we have around a kilogram, and then above, we're sitting at, 2 to 3 kilograms. So I think it'll be all right. You can see how it's coming in like significantly hotter here, and then by the time it gets out over here, it's cooling down a lot. Again, we have no Weezeworts on this side, though, so they don't start cooling until they get to here, really. Okay, so that will help our general temperature of our oxygen flow. I still have this secondary pipe system, though, that is not getting the benefit of the cooling. Because there's just not enough space in here to send it all. I could reduce the oxygen flow, but that wouldn't be great. I'm gonna use ladders to get those other warts. Yeah. Well, I had set them up to do a couple, so they dug out some of the warts, but we need, oh, man. I don't want to dig up too much down here, because I want all the sleet wheat that's down here to stay intact so I can harvest it. As much as possible, anyway. Let's see, they can reach that, they can get to there. Is there a sleet wheat there? Oh, no, there's not a sleet wheat there. Okay, it's fine. I'll just throw a ladder here. No, you know what? It'll be faster if I dig. I'm a little indecisive, but we'll just get them to dig their way down to it. Okay, that's it for the Weezeworts in this area. We'll have to find another cold biome before we can get more Weezeworts. And, ooh, what did I run out of? Ah, what am I thinking? We need refined gold for the liquid pipes. Ironically, you don't need refined gold or refined metals to do the radiant gas pipes, but you need it for the liquid pipes. I don't know why. New member, Patrick Gendron. Thanks for clicking the join button, Patrick. Welcome to Team Green. Appreciate the support. Let's set this up for some gold, I guess. We're gonna need this. It's gonna take a little while to get all we need. It's gonna get very hot up top here, too, unfortunately. Warts move the gas through themselves 1 kilogram max packet, so if there's anything around 1 kilogram near the bottom is enough. 2 kilograms just leaves a safety mark. Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, it also doesn't need to hit that perfect ideal gas movement in order to provide the level of cooling that I need. I pretty much never build anything on my colony for hyper efficiency. More just like convenience. The less work I have to do once I get it set up to maintain it. Like, for example, my bathroom setup. Because being able to just set it up and leave it is, like, ideal for me, because then I can go pay attention to something else, and I don't have to worry about it. Can you get a rip in the chat? R.I.P. More gold is required, yep. Think you saw a cold biome on the left? Oh, you might have. You may have done so. Let's check our temperatures. That'll make it easy. It's all hot over here. Warm, 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 hot, warm, hot, hot, warm. It is not hot down here, so that would suggest there's probably a cold biome over here somewhere. It's all moderate temperature down here. So there's got to be something down here that's cooling it. Starvation. 127,000 kilocalories and we're starving. Imagine that. It's going to be a little bit before that's finished. It's going to take them a while. We got a lot of excess piping in there now. They need to dig to reach the sleet wheat to the left of the ladder. Oh, yeah, yeah. Some of it I flagged for them to harvest it, and then I didn't give them a way to get to it. So let's dig this out. And actually, I should do a ladder all the way down. I want them to get as much of the sleet wheat as possible. Because I don't plan to ever set up a farm for the sleet wheat specifically. I want them just to get it on their own. Oh, that's all sand. I was hoping that would be snow. That's no good. This is not going to do a very good job of cooling. I'm going to need to send some water in here. I might have to redirect some of the water that's coming down the line into a vent to just dump it in the space to let it cool. Or I could do. I guess I could do. No, even if I do temp shift plates, it's not gonna help that. I kind of wish I had a hydrogen machine there now. The machine that Poe was always telling me I should use it. I never used much. my poor reservoir is getting really full here. I'm gonna run out of space. But I would prefer not to send it over here because this is like super germy. Send a second cold biome just to the right of the first biome. I'm not sure yet. I think it might actually, we might be seeing abyssallite. No, normally the abyssallite will take on the temperature. There's igneous rock here. Sand. Sandstone. It's really hard to tell. It's cold over here. So this is, there probably is a cold biome right there. I should tell them actually to build a bunch of ice blocks in here. Water, oxygen, food, resources, temperature, and weight. Did you want a list of what you do have to worry about or what you don't have to worry about? Yeah, it's kind of a never-ending thing, right? It's like, I mean, the funny thing is, like, what I find in general is you'll get something set up and everything will be running perfectly with it, and then you'll go pay attention to something else for a while, and when you go back to that first thing that was perfectly fine, it's no longer fine anymore. That's generally what my colonies run into. Let's dig this out here. Talking too much, starting to lose my voice. We'll build a ladder down here so we can try to get some drainage. I want this water to shift away from here because I want to reclaim this space and make use of it. I'm pretty much moving the water in like the worst way, the worst way possible right now. Another new member, welcome Lisa Cheatham. I don't know how to pronounce that, but welcome Lisa. Thanks for clicking on the join button. Welcome to Team Green. I appreciate the support. Is this game worth it? I've been considering it for a while. Yeah, absolutely. The game's like 20 bucks. I've gotten hundreds of hours of entertainment out of it. So for the sake of $20, that's amazing. I find Clay in general is also just a really good developer. They're always so on top of their games and they support them over time by adding in new content, trying to continue to maintain the fun. I mean, even when you look back at Don't Starve, which is a game they made in like 2012, they're still making active content for it now. So you know what? When I think about whether I want to spend money on a game and how much the game's going to cost me, I often compare it to the price of a movie. You know, I'm going to spend at least $20 on going to the movie, and that's assuming I don't really get any food because it's crazy expensive. So if I can get more entertainment value out of a game purchase for that money than what I would spend at the movie, then usually I consider it a good value. But that's just me. If you remove all the weeds warts and constantly pump hot liquid gas, how do you prevent from destroying the biome completely? Well, it'll kind of recover itself anyway. It's because it's naturally cooler. But I'm also the intent here is to try to create a pool of water that sits here that maintains a colder temperature because it can absorb a lot more heat. This will heat up over time for sure. I just want it to last long enough for me to get some benefit out of it. Yeah, $20 and lots of deaths. Yeah, we've had an unfortunate number of duplicant casualties in our colonies over the, what is it, like, oh, it's maybe almost 2 years I've been playing the game now, maybe a year and a half. You love the movie game comparison. It just seems like a logical way to look at it for me. I see, maybe in part because I used to see a lot of movies. I don't see nearly as many as I used to. Just never really have the time to go out and do it. But I used to spend a lot of money on movies and I trapped somebody. Oh, RP. Now, on the plus side, you're only temporarily trapped. What do we got here? Algae and slime. You can't build a ladder out of either of those. That's not useful. I guess we could do this a different way. if we have you dig down instead, and dig your way... Oh, no, that's not going to work. Alright, that worked. There. So I used to see a lot of movies, and I just don't really have the time to anymore. But I think about how much money I spent on movies over the years, and then I think about like spending on something on a game like this that I spend hundreds of hours playing. I mean, it's really good value. It also depends what you like, though, right? If you don't like colony building games, you're definitely not going to like this game. So, you know, it's all relative, I guess. Dig out some algae there. You know, well, we haven't gotten into one of these ruins yet in a while. We probably should see if there's a fancy brain smusher fire in there. That's the scientific technical term. Throw some covers in that slime biome before your dupes get the plague. We already have some. Well, actually, up here, I'm not super worried about it. The airborne germs are a little high up here. They're getting a little stanked out. It's still only Sibylline that's really sick, though, and Arpy, because Arpy was, like, breathing in the slime for a while. Down here, I started to clean up the air. So we've actually got, well, there's still a lot of germs here, but there's some clean oxygen in here at least, so at least some of this germ layer will die off. I need to give the dupes some more work. Oh, man, with 25 duplicants, it is really hard to keep them busy all the time. Plus, you got to meet all those wonderful people like me. You know what? It's amazing. The whole concept of streaming is really very novel to me. The fact that I can turn on the game and start playing and chat with people all around the world while I'm playing it is just kind of cool. Oh boy. Things have been getting a little bit too warm in here. 27 degrees. What's the temperature of the air coming through here? Oxygen's at 27 degrees. I thought I might actually be heating the oxygen up by sending it through the water. Oh, I see what it is. So it's coming out of here at 25, 26 degrees, which is still a little bit on the high side. This water is at 27, so it's actually heating up as it comes... No, 28 degrees, so it's actually heating up as it goes through here. I think I'm going to need to reroute my whole piping system and stop using this water for cooling. I knew it wasn't going to be permanent. I just didn't want to go through the trouble of rerouting all this stuff yet. Alright, so we'll run piping up this way instead. And then when I'm ready to do the swap over, I'll disconnect on this side, I'll reconnect on this side. And we'll throw a pipe bridge here, and then we're good to go. And then I can recover some of the metal here too, because I can actually redirect this secondary oxygen flow into the deeper water where it's going to get cooled a little better. It's the shallow water that's unfortunately not so great. Gas bridge down here. Best thing is to be able to come back for every stream you do. Yeah, it's you know what? The consistency that there are people that show up to check out all the streams, it's amazing. I mean, the mod support and stuff that I've had on the channel has been great, particularly considering it's all voluntary, right? Like, I think it's all very cool. This is not really something I would have imagined myself doing, and yet here I am. It's fun. I broke that pipe, and then I left all the stranded oxygen there. I didn't really mean to do that. Hopefully this will work. Sometimes it'll create, like, confusion for the flow of the gases. Yeah, it's messing it up a little bit. I just want to clear all the oxygen out. Yeah, nobody's dead yet so far. Now that you've said that, though, we still have 20 minutes to have, like, 5 duplicants die off. You know what? I think in the long run, this probably isn't worth it. I'm trying to squeeze the oxygen out of the pipe here, but... Oh. Well, that's the part of the problem. I have this here. It's backing up and then taking the alternate route, which I don't want. But now it's not going to flow at all. Alright, whatever. Let's break it up. We got bottled oxygen out of it. Deconstruct this. I'm going to deconstruct this loop here. And then I'm going to redirect... Why did that stop moving altogether? Oh, they broke it up there. That was quick. Hold the phone. Cancel this one. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put a little switch into here. So we'll send the oxygen that's there. Into this loop so we can get it actually down into the deeper water. That will get a little bit of additional cooling out of it. Particularly as I start to refill that water supply. Because only the one branch, unfortunately, is actually getting the cooling from the Wheezewort room. So we'll make do this way for now. If you want to keep the oxygen in the pipes, you can just deconstruct them. The oxygen will break free into your base anyway. Well, sometimes it'll come out in, like, pipes or whatever, but that's fine. Or not pipes, but bottles. But it didn't do that, I guess. That's fine. Okay, that one's all working now. So we have a secondary flow. This water is still at, like, 24 degrees. So we're not going to get maximum cooling out of this, but we'll get a little bit. Radiant gas pipe at 29 degrees Celsius. Ooh, boy. 42. Yeah, we're getting a little cooling, but not a lot. I need this to be more effective for now, because I'm limited in my cooling resources right now. We'll use just the bottom layer. Gas overlaid. You can start right here. There. we're gonna stretch as much as we can out of the cooling in that little water down there. You can put a bridge or valve on the end of a pipe like that without connecting it to anything. The other end will make it drain. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, in this case, it was just air anyway, so it just lets it out. But for some reason, I thought that the air would get bottled up still. I guess it doesn't do that. Change that over to insulated pipe so we don't radiate out the heat from this stuff into the lower area unnecessarily. Okay, the oxygen flowing up here now is coming out at 22 degrees Celsius. Much better. Okay, so that'll fix our heating problem. Perfect. We got bottle gases when you use the empty. Yeah. You also have some of your dupes build some temp shift plates made from ice, the water to lower the temp and add some water. Yeah, we could do that too. If I have the... Actually, did I do the research to get temp shift plates yet? Utilities. Yeah, I did. Iron ore. Ice. The tricky part will be whether they can get the ice that far into the colony before it melts, so that will be funny. We might end up with a bunch of puddles along the way. We also don't have a ton of ice dug up right now. I'm gonna have to deal with that too. Although we did have enough to make all these sculptures. It's nice and cold down here. I think I need a little bit more gold. Yeah, I did make enough. What's our temperature up here? It's spicy up there, that's for sure. Hope you have plenty of oxygen in the bedroom. In which bedroom? I mean, these rooms all seem fine. How do I cool the water in my colony? I don't have any other biome, and I'm in the early game. Well, you can't really cool the water until you get to the point where you start getting some other stuff. So, like, when you do your research and you expand it into other biomes, you can find things like the thermal aqua tuner is specifically for cooling water, but it also heats. So it has to sit in liquid of its own. So you're effectively just shifting heat from one place to another. The question you have to ask yourself is, why are you trying to cool the water? You don't need to cool it to use for food. You don't need to cool it to use for any kind of bathroom plumbing. Just insulate your pipes instead. You don't need to cool it if you're going to be sending it to any kind of a machine, because the machines all have fixed temperature outputs that don't depend on the temperature of the water going into them. So your electrolyzer, for example. So the only reason you would want to cool your water is if it's sitting in an area and it's radiating heat. So outside of that, you shouldn't really have a need to cool your water down. Once you get to other biomes, that's when you get better opportunities to cool it, because you can use things like Wheezeworts and ice and things from other places. As much as I love watching this game, I don't think I would ever play it. I'm too smirt. Well, I'm pretty smirt myself. I make plenty of smirt decisions in this game that usually lead to duplicant death. I don't know, it's just a fun game. $10 kilograms of fungal spores. Look at them working away on it. Get those temperature plates. It's gonna get nice and icy down here. It's gonna take them a while to build those. That's a lot of ice they have to haul in. I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough ice down here. We shall see. I still won't be able to keep them alive long enough to get plastic even in Sandbox. But in Sandbox mode, you get plastic right away. Hence the joke. Ba-dum-bum. That's right, I killed it. I killed the joke. They can't get across there. That's why they're not digging that. Stop starving. Suri and Joe, how could you possibly be hungry? We have 120,000 kilocalories of food. I think you're fine. I feel like you're lying to me. We have fried mushrooms, we have mush fry, and we have meal lice available. We're almost at that point where I might want to start trying to swap out the farm, get away from meal lice, and start making bristle blossom instead. The trouble is bristle blossom takes a supply of water, so I will probably end up waiting until I find a geyser. We didn't find out what this this geyser or volcano or whatever it is up here yet. Where is that thing? Right there. I didn't find out what that is yet. Maybe I should do that. Let's send a duplicant on an adventure. I don't know. It's kind of hot up here. 43 degrees. Yeah, I don't want them getting all scalded. It's bad enough they're in here and it's like 42. I gotta get this thing out of here. It's producing way too much heat. Which leads me to this, because this is where I want to put it. I want to stick it like right here. Outside of the core area of my colony. You know, you're not making them of ice, they're using... Wait, are they? I thought I picked ice. Ah, darn it. Drat. Background buildings, deconstruct those. Actually, there's not really any harm in those temperature plates, but the ones on the bottom... Man. That really stinks. I thought I picked ice. How did I do that exactly? I think I just used up all the ice. I don't want to make it out of polluted ice. Well, that sucks. There's chunks of ice sitting down here. I must have had some of them made out of ice. There's chunks of ice down in here. That's weird. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, it was igneous ice. That's what I was making it out of. See? I made a smart thing right there. You're not the only one, Lisa. Maybe you have a schedule without time to eat? I don't think so, or they'd be dead. They eat during their downtime. This may include personal matters like bathroom visits, snacking, choose to engage in leisure activity. You know what? I'm going to increase the downtime for everybody. We have a lot of duplicants. There's no reason they couldn't have a little bit of additional downtime. That'll actually help their morale. So we have downtime morale +2. We'll give them all a +3. +3 on the morale out of their downtime. So they're going to become a little less efficient, but with 25 of them, that shouldn't really present too many problems. Mostly curious because you had 2 geysers next to your base. Oh, okay, yeah. If you have geysers next to your base, you don't really want to tap into those until you have some mechanism to cool them. Or just to keep the heat from getting into your base anyway. If you can like insulate them, you can send the piping hot water into another system. As long as it's going into a machine and you're using insulated pipe, you should be okay. But if you're going to put it into like an open space, that's when you want to cool it down. Hooray, holiday pay. Yay. Can't go wrong with holiday pay. Don't send me to investigate. You've worked on volcanoes too much. Joe, I'm sorry. We've got a job for you. It may or may not include scorching hot lava and your face. I'm not entirely sure. Shouldn't scalding gases the temps? Yeah, I mean, it's probably all right, but it depends on what they dig into up there. We'll send them up anyway. I'd much rather have exosuits for them, but I never really got around to building those yet. Where was that thing? Oh, yeah. All right. We'll send them all the way up here. Now, the real trick is going to be whether they can hold their breath long enough to even be productive in mining their way over there. That'll be the real adventure here, I think. What did they just dig through here? This is phosphorite. That's no good. Igneous rock. We'll make a ladder out of igneous rock so they can pick up materials that are right there. And we'll find out what's inside the great volcano. They may not even be able to get all the way over there. I have a feeling it's going to require a little bit too much breath holding. Might want to balance the shift better too. Your shift one is a lot more dupes. Oh yeah, I haven't been so I did, well, I mean, it's got a little bit more dupes, yeah. Let's put Ken on shift 2. Shift 3. We have one duplicate on shift 4. They just have a totally different sleeping time, and actually I forgot to give them an extra break time. They have a totally different sleeping time because they snore. We don't really want that. There we go. +3 bonus. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 7. Alright. Shift 2. There we go. Roughly evenly distributed. And that's pretty much how you get 3 toilets to service 25 duplicants. Tossed a bunch of insulated tiles and had to block off the geyser to cut it off until it could cool things down a bit. Yeah, you pretty much just end up having to... Who is sick? I think they've gotten sick playing in the cold biome. I haven't built a hospital yet because I ran out of space for one. Where am I even going to put that? You know what? I'll put it down here for now. I don't necessarily need a full-on hospital yet. We'll put a couple med beds here just in case we need them. Like we do right now. They're not going to get the room benefit out of it, but it'll at least help with recovery. And eventually we're going to need to make an actual hospital for them. So the intent here ultimately is going to be to build like the Ritz-Carlton kind of thing with, we have all these fancy decor options now. So I kind of want to expand out. I don't know which direction I should expand in now. Maybe over this side. I want to expand out and we'll set up living quarters over here where each duplicant can have their own individual room. And each room will be decorated to try to maximize decor. Now with 25 duplicants, that's going to take a lot of space. So it might be a bit of a challenge. So probably what I'll end up doing is I'll extend the great room here and try to build living quarters up over into here. That's going to take a lot of cooling and a lot of oxygen though too. So we'll have to see how that goes. Oh dear God, that much CO2 triggers me more than it should. Usually keep the base clean of any and all carbon. Oh man, that's such a waste of energy though. So I have lots of CO2, as you can see. Part of it I'm actually using to grow crops, so that's not really a big deal. But I have all the CO2 compressed into the bottom part of the colony where duplicants aren't really spending a lot of time, aside from this ranch. I generally don't clean up the CO2 a lot. I just keep the oxygen pressure high enough that it keeps it under control. So we have 1,400 grams of oxygen pressure, and below that, 1,000 grams of CO2. The tricky part of doing this is if your oxygen supply ever stops, the CO2 spreads pretty quickly and sort of takes over. I am at that point now where I actually do want to start scrubbing it a little bit to try to clean it up. Actually, what's the max to reach? I'm not going to be able to get all that. Can't strip all the dirt out, but I think I'll put my cleaning system over here. Ooh. Wait a minute, we have an incoming water supply. So they finished this down here. How's our temperatures? Comes in hot, goes out chilly cool. 18 degrees, that's pretty good. It is melting the statues, which I expected. We're gonna need some more ice blocks. And I ran out of ice. I guess we need ice. Let's dig this up. It'll start heating up quickly, but as long as we have nice cold water here, it can soak a lot of heat. It makes a really good heat sink. Yeah, I need a lot of ice though. As fast as they can build them, they're melting. Alright, let that go for now. Incoming water over here is coming out at 3 degrees. It's a little on the chilly side. 3.4 degrees. It'll heat up though, I think. 4 degrees. Yeah, it's already getting warmer. And the pipes got so cold down there that the first bit of water that went through them probably almost froze. Can you start converting CO2? Yeah. Actually, I have... I don't generally convert it. Usually what I do is I just scrub it. So in the oxygen tab, we have the carbon skimmer. I'm going to set that here. We're going to put a sieve right next to it in refinement, if I can find it. There we go. And then we'll just set up all of our piping on this. So I'm going to use insulated piping so we don't spread excess heat off of the water here. Okay, outgoing water comes out of here, feeds into here. Outgoing from here can go up into there. We're going to send in an incoming water flow off of this pipe to feed into it initially. And we're going to tap this whole system into the excess power coming off of here, which will feed this. Actually. So we'll get an initial influx of water that will go through the scrubber, or the skimmer rather. The skimmer will clean up some of the CO2, which will send polluted water to the water sieve, which will loop it back to the carbon skimmer, and then we can break the water supply afterward. You can use that cold water to add a cooling loop before it gets used. Yep, we could. I want to see what the temperature of the water is going to settle out at, though, because right now it's coming in colder than it will ultimately. So it's coming in here at like around 40 degrees. It's then quickly cooling and coming out. By the time it leaves, it's getting down to like 7 degrees, but that's climbing. So we'll see what that sort of settles out at. But yeah, it could be a useful cooling loop too. Research. What haven't I unlocked yet? We still got to build them a proper break room, but I think I'll wait until I actually started expanding the living quarters to do that. And then we can give them a fancy arcade machine and a jukebot and all that kind of stuff. They can start to party a little bit. We've been cramping their style. We're not letting them cut loose. Gonna go back to playing Oxygen Not Included while watching. Yeah, the stream's actually... Oh, we're pretty much at that midnight hour. So I'm gonna call it a wrap for tonight. We'll be back again with the same colony next Tuesday. We'll play some more Oxygen Not Included then. I stream Oxygen Not Included every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, unless I'm sick or something. Ooh, next Tuesday is that Christmas? Hold on, gotta check my calendar. Next Tuesday is Christmas, so I may not be streaming next Tuesday night. It might actually be next Thursday night when we stream Oxygen Not Included next. But thanks everyone for hanging out for the night. I appreciate the super chats and welcome to our three new channel members as well. I appreciate the support. Tomorrow night I'm going to be playing some Hollow Knight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're free and you want to come hang out, feel free to join us. That's been a fun adventure so far. Saturday, I am not entirely sure what my plan is just yet. But I'll let you know ultimately what I'm going to be playing and if I'm playing on Saturday night as well. But thanks again so much everyone for coming to hang out. I really appreciate the support. I'm as always CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.